What's going on, everybody? It is Truth Will Set You Free, episode number 44. That's right, 44, which means next week is number 45, an episode dedicated to Donald Trump. Yep, we're going to do that. Anyways, with that said, we are now playing also live on Primetime Patriots Facebook page, as well as Be The Change Facebook page and our YouTube. Come on over, join us if you want to hear a little bit about what's going on in the news today. We've got Suni and Kaylee backstage, and we're going to get started very soon talking about, obviously, the number one bit of news right now going on, the shooting in Colorado at the King Soopers. We're going to talk about the assault on gun control and the way that this path is taking. We're also going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Miami and go through the typical hypocrisy going on in the world of media, politics, etc. Got a lot of you guys joining. Please do us a favor, whatever page you're on, whether it's Primetime Patriots or Be The Change, share this out there. Hit the like button. Tell us where you're from. Tag some friends, and we can share the truth the best we can. That's the whole purpose. Because why and how can we create change? By truth. And ultimately, truth will set you free. Let's get the show started right now. What's going on, everybody? It is Anthony Russo from hashtag Be The Change. We are happy to have you guys for this episode. We have a lot to talk about. Really happy to have the Primetime Patriots crew here with us to talk about Second Amendment, gun control, etc., Biden's comments, and let's get to the bottom of what the truth is. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them up to the screen. We've got Suni, the middle child, and Kaylee Thompson. What's going on, ladies? How you doing?
Doing good, Russo.
Awesome. Welcoming Kaylee, because she doesn't usually make it. I think she made Contravengers once. So we're excited to have her on here. She's got her Second Amendment shirt on. And Sherry, I see your comment, and guess what? We're going to talk about that. That's part of the hypocrisy piece in this whole kit and caboodle. We're going to get straight into it. I'm going to give you guys just a quick heads up. Tomorrow, we do have a Changemakers episode with Emily Robbins. She's going to be a new host on one of our Be The Change network shows called Questions Unraveled. We were very excited to have her on. She's been on Truth Will Set You Free a while ago, and she's actually going to have her own show on the network. Also, I'll go and throw some of these details up in the bottom, but podcasts are available. Make America Think Again podcast will be live as of tomorrow, as well as all the other shows we have with Contravengers, Truth Will Set You Free, and Changemakers. So make sure you follow the podcast page, which is hashtag BeTheChange.com/podcast. We may or may not do Contravengers tomorrow. We are not totally sure. We'll talk about it before we get off here. And I will leave this on the bottom if anybody wants to support our programming for specifically this show. I know Primetime Patriots has their own crew as well. But if you like to support Be The Change and what we do, all the information is below. Patreon is the one that I suggest you all do, because that's where we do extra stuff like motivational Mondays, sometimes getting over the hump Wednesdays, and some other stuff as well. So we'd love to have you guys as Patreons. All right, let's kick the tires and light the fires. Let's talk about the shooting in Colorado with allegedly the first thing we heard was white male, mass shooter, all the things. Kaylee, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. Go ahead and tell us all the stuff you've already been reporting on with Primetime Patriots and the shooting at the King Soopers.
Okay, hang on. I was going to try to share my screen really quick. I just want everybody to see this. This is the initially they were saying that this man was a white male. And they rushed to say specifically that he was a white supremacist before his identity was even released, which is not surprising at this point. Let's see. I was going to see if they said anything about how they just took all that stuff off. Anyways, they removed his Facebook profile because he was clearly a non-Trump supporter. So they took that down so that nobody could see it. So we've got that information. We also know that he used a rifle, is what they're saying, a police rifle. But eyewitness reports show or say that he was only shooting like 1 to 2 shots, then he would stop, and then he would shoot 1 to 2 shots. We've actually got videos where you can actually hear that. And the media is depicting it as he was blanket shooting, which basically means holding his finger down on the trigger and just spraying bullets. And that's not factual either.
The captured audio proves that false. Very false.
Correct.
This is what the guy looks like that we've seen. We have the other photo as well, but this is him. And if you see some of the other photos, he's clearly a little darker skinned. Turns out his name is, where is it? It's definitely not a 100% American name. We'll say that. Where is it? What screen did I put that on?
I can't even pronounce his name. I didn't even try.
Oh, here it is. His name is Ahmad Al-Aliwi Alisa from Arvada, Colorado. Lived most of his life in the U.S. He is an ISIS sympathizer. Yet that, by the way, has not been reported by mainstream media. All they're talking about is gun rights, gun control. Also, as we discussed before the show, yes, he was born in Syria. That is correct. As we discussed in the beginning, before the show, the whole concept behind this being about gun rights is hilarious because Colorado already has some of the strictest gun control rights in the country. The only way to get stricter than Colorado is to start taking away guns and preventing regular citizens from having them. I do question if something like this, and I know this always gets brought up, would this have happened in Texas? And I know we had what happened, I believe, in El Paso, but that was thwarted a little bit faster than this one. I do think more people were dead, but it was a more concentrated area, and he was stopped sooner. So that's my question when it comes to this is how is gun control even a consideration or even a speaking point unless you are literally talking about completely taking away people's guns? Doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I think that's exactly what they're talking about. I mean, that's Joe's intention for sure.
Joey Basements. So we've also got, I saw somebody's post on the side. I don't know where Daniel went. Did you see that post by Daniel? Where'd it go? Daniel, if you are out there, Daniel Lukacs, I saw that your family, you said your parents were actually at the King Supers. If you want to send a private message to Be the Change, if they are willing to discuss what they saw that day, I'm sure Primetime Patriots or Be the Change would have them on live to talk about it. If they don't want to show their face, also fine. We could just make that blanket and close. But we would love to have them on to have a firsthand account because we already know that the people that the media puts in front of you, firsthand account or not, are the people they want to put in front of you for a very targeted, specific reason. So hit us up with a specific tag if you can. Suni, what do you think about this shooting?
Gun control. 2 words, gun control. That's it. They're trying to push for gun control. They're trying to put a ban on AR-15s. They know that that's a weapon that most Americans carry. It is. It's not an assault rifle. It's an Armalite rifle. And it is what it is. Like, I mean, it's frustrating for me because I don't think people are paying attention to what's coming. Like, that's what's the most frustrating about this entire thing. That's all I got right now. I'm gathering my thoughts.
They've managed to divide us as people with viruses, masks, how we're handling different things, clearly with politics, clearly with the way the media looks at us. And now it's literally, this is the beginning of phase 2. Once you've got the shooting at the massage parlors, and then you've got this, it makes zero sense to the untrained eye that it's not all about taking away, first dividing, and then removing our ability to protect ourselves. And I was always big on Second Amendment, but also on new versions of gun control, which now I'm full Second Amendment the way that I look at things, because I used to say, what is really a gun going to do to protect yourselves against the government? I was always like, I don't understand. Now I understand, because they're taking away individual rights in such a way and separating us as people. Whereas if we're telling on our neighbors for not wearing a mask, or what were I can't remember what they were doing at the beginning. Like, God, what was it at the beginning of the pandemic? They were actually having people report their neighbors for stuff. It's not just the military anymore. It's protecting ourselves against our fellow citizens when they start to think that they are superior to us if they believe a different way. So I think looking at this is a huge deal. I think looking at what exactly is happening, the fact that these are back-to-back stories, one is being deemed a gun issue as well as a hate crime, even though it's, in my mind, no way to view it as a hate crime if you think logically at all, because if the person confesses to why they did it and it was because of their own sex addiction, and because those are 24/7, so those are alleged, probably a little bit sketchier massage parlors, then you're probably looking at, he's being honest. He has a sex problem. He has been to rehab for sexual addiction, and they're not fully taking his story or his testimony. They're actually saying, yes, but they're Asian, so it's got to be a hate crime. That makes zero sense. I'm sorry. That's just pacifying race for the purpose of an agenda. Second, you've now got this shooting, which is an ISIS sympathizer. Kaylee saw it. Suni saw it. That his Facebook profile was taken off. Why was his Facebook profile taken off? On top of the fact that I'm sure that he's got some, right now, a whole bunch of traffic going to that, and he is a mass murderer. But also he had a whole bunch of anti-Trump stuff on there. He had a whole bunch of stuff that would actually not paint the proper narrative that they would want. So of course they're going to go ahead and put that up there. What's going on, Kirby? So that's my thoughts on that. Suni, what are you bringing up on the screen right now? I see you working on something backstage there.
Oops, let me take it off. Sorry. I'm trying to pull up his, well, the internet anything that's on the internet is never truly erased. You can go back and look at offline images of his Facebook. So I was trying to pull that up to see if we can see anything.
Yeah. But anyways, I haven't got a chance to look at any of the comments. Again, do us a favor, guys. This is going to be a nice, solid, a little bit less than an hour show. So go ahead and share this out there if you can. Let's see. Question. How so accurate? That's another question. Because, well, they think he sprayed bullets. He didn't spray bullets. We heard the audio. Anybody that knows guns knows that was not a spray. That was not a bullet holding down. He was taking shots very, very, very specifically at people. I mean, again, that's allegedly based on the audio that I have. And then, you know what, while Suni's working on this, we're going to, I like to talk about hypocrisy as well. Because a lot of the, when you hear the news, like these people were trapped. Oh, actually, when you hear Biden's speech, he talks about how these poor people were trapped in King Soopers. Could not agree more. And they were, the horrific nature of the crime. Agreed. 100%. Meanwhile, you've got a situation going on. Only really reported, biggest news network reported by is the Daily Wire, and you've got the BLM protests. Let's see, hundreds of people trapped in the East Avenue Wegmans by this mob. Rochester Police Department is just watching and letting it happen. Fire codes and trespassing aren't things in Rochester anymore. What an embarrassing day for the PD. This is literally, as you can see the article, BLM protesters mob store trapping 100 customers inside, saying we're shutting shit down. And ironically enough, the first post about it, somebody excited about how they're shutting things down, was a white guy by the name of Michael Schwartz. Cool. I don't understand exactly how this is just allowed. And we actually also have a video, which I'll play, of a video that shows exactly what the people were going through that were on the inside. It's a very short video. Let's go ahead and share that. Let's go ahead. Come on. That's absurd. These are people being terrorized inside of a store, and it makes no national news because Black Lives Matter is allowed to do whatever they want in their marches. And yet, do I think that this represents Black Lives Matter as a whole? No, but maybe somewhere in the middle. But why? Technically it does represent them if nobody in Black Lives Matter will step up and say, this is not what we're about. Why do they not say that? Because that is what they're about. They're domestic terrorists, plain and simple. And it's not covered by national media because it doesn't fit a narrative, plain and simple. We all know this.
Facts.
Suni, what do you got working on?
I'm looking at his Facebook. Ooh, I have a few posts that I can show people. Let me pull it up. This is one of the screenshots that was able to be pulled from his page before it was snatched down, where he puts up an anti-Trump post. This is crazy. Trump's such a dick. That's what he said. And then he shared a Washington Post refugee article that I guess he feels Trump is responsible for. He has several others where he's just like off the handles. He talks about he needs a girlfriend. His phone is being hacked by his old school. Apparently they're saying he was suffering with some like paranoia. Isn't this the narrative that they paint every time someone of Islam faith does some ridiculous, heinous stuff? I'm starting to notice a trend here.
Yep.
I mean,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous that we're ignoring. Like, if this was a white kid that had a Trump anything on his page, they would have left it up. They'd have blasted us out there. They would have showed, oh my God, Trump supporter kills. They would say if a Trump supporter killed one person, they would find a way to go. Trump supporter killed one person of a minority race. This is because Trump incited violence, etc. This guy has ISIS sympathizer posts. He has anti-Trump posts, and he did a mass shooting. And all they're talking about is the gun part of it, because that's the only part that fits the agenda that they want. It's shit. It's absolute shit at this point.
Well, here's my question. They're reporting that it was a police-styled rifle. Where did he get that from? Why are police guns on the street? Because he didn't get it from a dealer. Like, let's just be real. They don't even sell police-grade weapons in an actual dealer. My husband's a gun owner. Where did he get it from? I also heard that they were watching this dude because of his tweets and his Facebook posts. Once again, it's the same narrative. You've been watching him for months and weeks, and somehow he mysteriously shoots up a grocery store. I'm calling BS. Gun control.
Yeah. I don't talk about false flags because I do believe all these things are actually happening. Now, if people were part of an agenda, absolutely. And I don't know why people chose to do things, but I mean, and I love that we talked about this also. People were mad about the fact that it was a white guy that wasn't killed on sight, not knowing that it wasn't a white guy that wasn't killed on sight. And we talk about this a lot when it comes to these mass shootings. For people that haven't heard it and need to hear it from the back, this is a big deal that when there's a mass shooting, they have to find out motive. So they have more police on it. They have more people. They have the whole force, and they have to find a way to take them down without killing them, because they need to know if this is part of a bigger thing, bigger crime syndicate, instead of one-on-one, somebody, robbed somebody, murdered somebody, they're shooting a police officer, push comes to shove, instantly they have to do something to make an instant decision of somebody that's murdered. This is much bigger than that, because they need to find out, especially a guy like this who's got ties to ISIS or as a sympathizer for ISIS, they need to know if this is part of some kind of bigger plan. It's a big deal. You have to.
I'm going to say something extremely controversial. ISIS is a democratic toy, just like they bring out North Korea. We haven't heard anything from North Korea in the last 4 years because Trump he went ahead and made peace over there. We have not heard about ISIS in the last 4 years because ISIS is not real. It is a government decoy. Like, I'm straight up telling you, bro. Every time there's a Democrat in office, we got to hear about ISIS. Well, he was an ISIS sympathizer. Well, he was this. Show me ISIS. Why has ISIS been so quiet? Why we ain't heard about nothing? Why haven't we heard anything about ISIS in the last 4 years?
Good question. I think it's fascinating that we have a great diversion for what's going on at the southern border by this mass shooting. Also, even Democrats are looking at what's going on. And I know I like to say this, but you guys were the first people to have somebody boots on the ground with Oscar at the border 5 days before even Fox News had somebody down there, which is amazing. Shout out to Oscar on that one. But that was what you guys had, somebody there live when there was less than 500 people beginning at the crisis at the border. And now you've got kids in cages again, which again, I understand why. When there is a crisis, not a challenge, but when there is a crisis at the border, you have to do what you can to do the best that you can when these numbers are through the roof. Now, the reason these numbers are through the roof is because Biden made it clear when he was running that he wanted to essentially open the borders. So that's why they're here. So this is a self-inflicted wound that Trump never had. Trump's self-inflicted wound was the fact that what people don't remember is that Obama deported more Hispanic descent, Mexican, Central American, etc., people than any president combined in history. So, of course, new president, let's see what we can do. Let's try to get back in. And Trump had to deal with a crisis at the border, and he called it a crisis at the border, not self-inflicted. He still dealt with it, and he did the exact same thing that currently is being done by this administration. And this administration is tiptoeing back on it. There's even Democratic leaders saying it's not being handled well. You've got rooms that are more full now than they were during the Trump administration with those silver blankets around people, kids, adults, et cetera. And the numbers are 700% up. It's absolutely mind-boggling. And nobody on the left is even acknowledging the complete failure. Do you know how to avoid acknowledging the complete failure? To have a mass shooting happen and make that the number one story. Again, I don't believe in false flags. I do believe in there being some really weird things that happen that are positioned for specific reasons. So that's all I got. That's all I got on that one.
I agree with you. It's not a false flag. People died. Americans died. Yeah. That's something I wanted to emphasize yesterday. Like we can speculate, we can talk about all these things, but at the end of the day, Americans died. They lost their life because people don't practice their Second Amendment right. You're allowed to have a gun. Think about it. If maybe 2 or 3 people had a gun there, maybe 4, he wouldn't have got away with as much as he did. Mm-hmm. There's no way. Somebody said they had a question, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. Who was it? Marsha, if you want to ask it again, go ahead and we'll try to see it this time. We'll look for it specifically. Sorry about that. There's another question. Orders opens. Yeah, there's a lot of questions coming through. I still love that this is so funny. Question: would Democrats murder Marines using a terrorist take? No, I don't think they would. I hope not. I'd like to think better of this country. And I'd like to think better of all leadership, but I have no idea what's going on in the country anymore. I have no idea what's going on in the government. I wouldn't put past shady things past Republicans or Democrats. Our government is absolutely shattered at this point. So I honestly, I don't know. I would hopefully say no, but
it's not them. They're not setting up murders. They are using events that happen in America, like this one. They politicize it to push forth legislation. Listen, mass shootings didn't stop under Trump. Gun violence did not cease to exist under Trump. It never happened. There were still shootings. The only reason why we didn't really hear about it is because the media didn't televise it. Look at all the cities that normally have gun violence. Gun violence is still going on.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to see. It's really, really hard to see what's going on. I still haven't seen that question. So if I see it, let me know. I'm doing the best I can to check it out. But yeah, so you've got the shooting in Atlanta. You've got the shooting now in Colorado, and we've got this massive new viewpoint on gun control that is just repeated every calendar year when they feel like they need something to talk about in terms of gun control. Yeah. When, as we can see, the whole country is going through some issues with police. There's been defunded police. There's been this, that, and other things happen in Minnesota. They just now got the jury selected for the Derek Chauvin trial. So that's going to be something that's going to be super interesting to watch there. And again, the more we talk about people being afraid to use their guns, especially police officers, even because they can get in trouble, it's just we're setting ourselves up for failure as a country, and it's an issue that needs to be addressed. Were there really any mass shootings? So the definition of a mass shooting, Mayor, is anything over 2 or 3 people. I think there was a ton of mass shootings. A lot of them were in 3 people or more. A lot of them were in. They were in bad, typically inner city communities. That's where the numbers were really high during it. But these were just mass shootings because They were in gang violence communities that typically had a lot of shootings. But in terms of mass shootings like this, there was not as many. But there was a couple. They happen. It's unfortunately part of people having mental illness and challenges. And like this guy said, or like the guy that had the sexual addiction that we're calling a hate crime, which is not a hate crime. He's a fucked up individual crime. Yes, they're bound to happen, unfortunately. And you know what? The more that, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I know we share the people on this platform share it. If there's more people that are safely carrying concealed weapons, this wouldn't be quite the issue. People would think twice, or things could get stopped much, much faster. Plain and simple.
Facts. Yep.
What else do we want to talk about? We were going to talk about, we talked about the hypocrisy of that.
Pull up the share screen, Anthony.
Sorry, I got you. Oh, yeah. There you go. This is funny.
Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth vows to vote no on all white straight Biden nominees until an Asian is picked. Wow. I don't even know. You guys, you're going to have to take over talking about this because I don't even have words. I'm like.
But she would confirm. Did you say she would confirm a vote? Well, if it's a white nominee that's LGBTQ, just to be very clear, she had to say.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, that makes it okay then. As long as they're part of the LGBTQ community, they can be white, but they can't be white straight Biden nominees unless and until there's an Asian that's picked.
The race politics is gotten to a point that's disgusting, just like the media, as we talked about. They won't portray stories, and we can spin into the spring break story. Let's check email. There's so many different messages now that we got Primetime Patriots on here. Your followers, there's way more people asking questions. So you've got the BLM protest not covered, like I said. You've also got the two teens, the Daily Wire covered. Two teens set mentally ill man on fire. Would the races be reversed if it was and would it be a national story? It was two black teens set a mentally ill white guy on fire. Terrible thing. I would love to not hear that in my news, but to know that it happened is good for people to understand and move on from it. That's the whole point of news. But it's not even covered. It's not even mentioned. And when it is, it's a small byline. Race isn't mentioned. Again, I believe that's probably the way to do it. But when it's the other way around, it's absolutely just thrown in the face, demolished, and made sure people understand. Just like, what was the other one? Oh, the spring break. We were talking about this earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up.
I wanted to mention that.
Yeah. Go for it, Cindy, while I bring it up.
The media is saying, well, they're shutting it down because they have COVID-19 concerns. And I'm just like, why won't you just call a spade a spade? You're shutting it down because there's a lot of young people there. I don't know why we're seeing predominantly black people cutting up, because I know there's more than black people there. Like, it's got to be. But they're shutting it down because they're literally, people are dining and dashing. They're destroying restaurants. They're destroying the streets. They're beating each other up in the streets. Like I said the other day, they've been locked indoors forever. Like, trust me, I get it. You've been indoors forever. You got to get out, release your testosterone, whatever else you got going, estrogen. But why is the media lying about why they're actually shutting it down?
On top of it, again, if it does look like a predominantly black crowd. On top of it, it's been shut down. They've been like trapped inside. And again, as you said, a lot of dine and dash, a lot of damage, a lot of all these different things. Let's also realize that over the last 8 months, they have been pounded with information from the mainstream media that they are being screwed by the American white man. They're being screwed by anything. They've been taken advantage of. They deserve reparations. They deserve all these things. Essentially, if you take a group of 20 to 30-year-old black youth, young adult, whatever, and you've cooped them up, made them angry, made them lose their jobs, you let them back, you let people across the board back out, and they've been programmed to think that the world owes them something. This is the byproduct of it. And on top of it, really bad things are happening. So I've got this, and I know you've got the clip of the two guys. I actually found the article that shows the girl as well. So they found the spring breaker. Again, even Fox News, and I think Fox News did something horrible the other day when they were talking about the Asian shooting. the Asian massage parlor shooting, they brought an expert on that said it's unreal that they're not calling it a hate crime. The police department, it's irresponsible, even though, again, the police department is literally just saying what the guy admitted to. You don't get very often a blatant admission of guilt. And they're saying that, no, we don't believe him. But that one keeps bugging me so much, it drives me effing nuts. Spring Breaker woman drugged, raped, and found dead. Hotel. She was ID'd. So here's the gentleman that drugged her. They gave her the drugs, apparently, and then tried to rape her. And then she then died, which is when they left, apparently. So she's found semi-nude. Apparently, she was a manager of a police department. Again, I don't really care, white, black. I don't give a shit. But let's be completely, blatantly fucking obvious that if roles were reversed, this is a much different headline. This headline looks very different. And this is on Fox News. This would be Black spring break female drugged by white college students found dead in Miami Beach hotel. And there'd probably be a byline saying potential hate crime beneath it. And we all know this. And again, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that this is an incorrect headline, but we have to start realizing when roles reverse what it would actually look like and how absolutely dangerous this is, the country that we have now entered, and the media that is literally blanketing us with a hateful rhetoric towards one group, which is white males. And I know that, like, oh, do you feel scared, Anthony? No, I just, at the same time, I think this is absolute utter bullshit. You don't fix the problems in this country by blaming the wrong person. You don't.
Yeah. This is a tough subject. I just had a thought. I know we moved on from the Colorado shooter, but I just had a thought. He's from Syria, and based on previous presidents, including the one we have now, Obama, we bombed the crap out of their country. Non-stop. So, how do I say it? I can understand why somebody would come here with ill intentions based on what our government is doing. So this is not like something that's random or we should be shocked about it. Look at what we've done to their country. And it's not even we. Look at what the Pentagon and our government has decided to do to their country. So they come here and they're like, I'm about to mess some stuff up. I think you got to be honest about it. Can you pull up Linda Wiggins, please?
How far back?
It's 9:34 p.m. I think this is an issue.
I got it.
Since we're on the topic of race. My husband's not white. And ignorant statements like that is why we are where we are in this country. Because I have common sense and I can think for myself as a black woman. Clearly, it's because I'm black and I have my own thoughts and I can formulate opinions. It has to be contributed to me having a white husband.
To anybody listening to the podcast, it's a comment by Linda saying, the girl on the panel with the red hat, which is Sunni, must be married to a white man, keeps co-signing his nonsense. That would be my nonsense, apparently. So I don't know what I'm saying that's wrong. Linda, you know what? This is a perfect time for this. So as everybody on this panel and some of our fans know, I love to go and occupy Democrats and start conversation. Kelly, and I'm going to play something later. I'm going to show something later. Kelly said, maybe the mistake is that you are, because I tried to get them to come on the show to have a conversation. She said, I need to play dumber so that they are willing to actually have a conversation. However, I can only play possum so much. So Linda, if you would like, I'll be looking in the comment box. If you would like an invite, I will send you the link and you can hop on. We've got about 20 more minutes. I would love to have a conversation why you believe that what we are saying is nonsense. I would absolutely love that. Linda, if I see it in the comment box, let us know what page you're viewing from, and I will hunt you down and find you to send you an invite. Hunt you down with love, I should say. But yes, so let's see.
And by the way, I'm not saying that Americans deserve anything that happened. I'm saying that we have to look at a bigger picture sometimes and understand why certain things happen. In our government, we're collateral damage, like we just are, in everything that they do. And look what happened. you keep doing stuff to other countries, eventually they're gonna come over here and tear stuff up. Like, it's just inevitable.
Can you please
No
tell
way
me
am I
what
excusing
has
it.
been one-sided about
why
this
did you target
conversation? Because I
me?
feel like we're presenting left side and middle side and whatever part of the side that we stand on, but we're presenting it in a way where we're encompassing all of it. As in, this is what the media is saying. This is, this is our stance on it. So what have you seen that's been one-sided?
Maybe the fact that we don't have a Democrat guest, which again I would love. I've said this a million times. We have invited, and we do get a couple. We've had I'm drawing blanks on names. We've had Robert recently. We've got one that always is great to have on. Unfortunately, he's been busy lately, but there's literally like 3 or 4 that are willing to come on and have a conversation. So if that's the issue, that's unfortunate, but we have tried. And as soon as like the fight's
She's talking about me. She's talking about me. I don't know what I said that was unfair. Please let me know.
She said you were nodding at my nonsense.
I nodded at everything everybody said on this panel.
So I don't. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, still nothing from Ms. Wiggins. Yeah, we're trying, Nikki. I gotta find her. I gotta see what her profile picture looks like. You guys keep chatting. I'm gonna try to find her. Linda.
It's always the Black conservative that's targeted. I swear. I've got a target painted on my face when I wear this hat. I don't think we said anything disparaging about Black people. In fact, if I wanted to, I would say it because I'm Black. I don't have any problems calling people out on their stuff. And when people need to be called out, they need to be called out. Correction is love. Correction is love. Nobody's going to attack you. That's the thing. You have preconceived notions about who we are. You attacked me, if anything. Nobody attacked you in the comment section. You said some ignorant stuff about me. If you would like to have a conversation, I will mute my mic. I will go away. Whatever you need to feel better, just come on here and voice how you feel, because I didn't say anything disparaging and I'm not being one-sided.
I just want an explanation. Like, I don't understand the comment, so I'd like to know what it stood for. Like, I don't understand that.
And I found her profile. I sent it to her, but she said that she's not a Democrat, which also makes, and that's fine. I don't really care what anybody is. I'm not a big identity politics human. But if you're literally calling somebody out, so then whether you're Republican or Democrat, then you're just being insightful. And again, this is not to feed the trolls. I think this is entertaining and as informative as we can get, because I would like to actually have a conversation. So I've sent this. I found your profile. I sent you the link to come on, Linda. So check. I sent you a friend request as well. So you can check your comment box. You have an invite to come into the backstage of the show, and we'll be going for 20 more minutes. So who's Toonie? I didn't see this one. All right. So keep an eye on the comments. If she decides to say something, I would love to know what else has been said. But I'm going to go ahead and show this is always entertaining, my lovely discussions on Occupy Democrats. Let's see what we got. Linda got quiet, which is very common. So as you know, when I make those comments, I've seen Suni do it as well. Casey does it. And we literally say, okay, we disagree. Will you be willing to come on a show? And after just like bam, 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 either it's crickets after that to have a live discussion about it, or it's I don't talk to Trump supporters. I don't talk to people that are Trump that are fans of Trump. And I'm like, okay, what do I have to say to allow that to happen? So is Tony? Who do we know this person as?
No, I have no idea who Tony is.
How do you do what?
I think somebody said she needs to be on the show, but what is her? No, Tony is on our team on this topic. We don't need more of the same, because we apparently are already only one-sided. I
disappeared.
You will not be attacked. We literally, if you've seen how we deal with any of these conversations, it's incredibly peaceful. But I don't see her comments anymore. So anyways, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up, this morsel of goodness on Occupy Democrats, biggest hate group in the country. Let's see.
Can I say something real quick, Russo?
Absolutely.
So I think it is extremely unfortunate that we cannot even have a conversation with people that have differing opinions, because the left Democrats, they want to preach unity, which it's hard for me to get behind that being real when I can't get anybody that is a Democrat to talk to me. Like they're not interested. They won't do it. And I'm not personally the kind of person that if somebody came on here, I would start just attacking them. That's just not who I am. Whether we agree or disagree, that's just not who I am as a person. I think it is extremely sad that we can't even have a conversation with somebody who has differing opinions than we do.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
Facts. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm waiting for another article to be sent to me. I want to see who wrote it. Let's see. Newsbreak app. I want to learn more about this to see if this is it's being reported it's being reported by Forbes today. Holy shnikes. Okay. Biden administration urges Supreme Court to let cops enter homes and seize guns without a warrant. That should be interesting. Isn't this the what happened to the no-knock stuff in Louisville and that being an issue? So now we're just going to go no warrant? Cool. Okay, I got to bring this up. I can't take this idiocy that's happening in our country. All right, so this is the post on – there's Linda. I was letting Linda come up. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got here. Stop commenting. These are going to keep coming up. All right, 58 days. This is Occupy Democrats, everybody's favorite hate group. 58 days, no lies, no insults, no golfing, no racism, no whining, no blaming, no complaining, no incompetence. Cool. All right. So my very brief comment that caused the usual shitstorm. No feelings hurt. Yay. Also no positive progress. I'll take the tweets any day if shit actually gets done. PC culture that promotes quiet complacency will be the end of us. So fast forward a little bit. Things got fun right with Ernesto, the man, the myth, the legend, Ernesto Perez. 379,000 jobs created last month of February. By the way, that's last month, not of February, whatever. English language, who gives a shit? Pandemic cases going down to his urgency to roll out vaccines to millions, zero baby tantrum tweets, and zero golfing. That is how a president who takes his job serious operates. First off, Joe Biden could not hold a golf club if you paid him to. Let's be very clear, unless it was a cane. Am I right, ladies? Am I right about that? Thumbs up.
You're right about that, but let's remember that Joe Biden inherited vaccines from the previous administration. So yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Yep. No, you are. Yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we like to call foreshadowing. So Ricky had a very valid point. He said, in that case, then you must feel that Trump benefited from Obama's bull expansion. After all, it was Obama's policies which set that in motion and not Trump. So Trump had nothing to do with the low unemployment and great numbers he became president, other than take credit for it. He was correct. I said that all along. Trump, for the first year to 2 years of his presidency, was riding the Obama changes, but kept the longest bull market in history running because of deregulation and several more of his own policies, along with communication with the Fed. Now, and I will say this right now, if Biden is still rocking and rolling 18 months from now, cool, I'll credit it to his administration. Back to Ernesto, smartest man on Facebook, said nobody ever. Yes, those are still 379,000 jobs back that Trump didn't produce. So there's that logic. Got anything of substance? I said, do you not understand how time, progress, and policy works until you learn that signing a piece of paper doesn't bring back jobs overnight? We really can't have a conversation. I'm going to stop here. Do people really think, Suni and Kaylee, do people really think that signing an executive order instantly overnight means that whatever happens tomorrow is because of that executive order? Are people that actually that ignorant to the way things work?
Yes. Absolutely, yes. They are. I can almost guarantee you that 90% of Americans can't name 6 people in the House of Representatives, 6 senators. They don't know what the process of lawmaking is. They don't know where it starts. They don't know how it ends. They don't know who votes on it. They don't know the Constitution. They don't know what it says. Absolutely. People are that blind that they have no idea that if you sign an executive order, it doesn't mean that it starts tomorrow.
Shocking that they don't get that. Anyways, so I invited Ernesto to come on a show. I gave the time and this is where things got quite funny. So first off, I love that Ernesto here, if you can see it, he called me. He said, it's very simple, guy. It's like, is this real life? Are we really having, is this 1965 West Side Story? It's very simple, guy. Due to Biden's pressure and urgency to roll out vaccinations, 100 million people vaccinated so far means businesses are opening up slowly and consumer confidence rises. Those jobs he brought back, he brought back jobs in a month and a half, whatever, are many part-time as well, but will be full-time by the summer, which also means he does, and I didn't even comment on this, that means he does not quite understand how the unemployment numbers work. Part-time numbers are typically not figured in. Am I correct?
Yes.
I thought so. Okay, we're going to wrap this up right here because this is where, because I was about to blindly say something back to him, which is like 379,000 is actually a low number, but then I had to do my research unlike any time that we have conversations with them. So I said, dumb curiosity, do you know the number of jobs created the last 5 months of Trump's presidency up to the election? Again, this is right when the hardest slam of the pandemic was. I said, I'll wait, sir. I called him sir instead of guy. I feel like that was very respectful. Just a teaser, October was 680,000 and the lowest of June through October. 680,000 was the lowest month. 680,000 was the lowest month. So I said, you bragging about a mediocre number, not understanding the need to grow massive numbers since the beginning of the pandemic shows how ill-equipped you are to have a conversation about this. So when this is two messages, and he went regarding the would you like to be on the show? Anthony Russo, I'm not interested in Trump or what he's done. He's irrelevant. Now I'm focused on the future. He lost, move on. I said, sounds about right. Why is that a comical statement? Because he actually thinks that I was saying he is right, instead of realizing that as a sarcastic comment. So Rochelle was on our side. Ryan made a very funny meme or whatever, a GIF, not meme. Put that up there. And then Ernesto commented to Rochelle, he just conceded I was right. Genius. Cry face, clown, 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 clown. Sweet mother F. So to end the conversation, I said, yeah, you're definitely not equipped to have an intelligent conversation on politics or policy. Sounds about right is what I meant when I said you took your own braggadocious fact and showed why it didn't help your case, asked you to come on, talk about it like an adult, and then you deflected, avoided the point I made, said Trump was irrelevant and that he lost and move on. That is what sounds about right. Essentially, you discounted everything because you knew it destroyed the whole base of your argument. You probably should avoid intelligent conversation on politics. It's just not your jam. That is what we deal with on a daily basis on Occupy Democrats, and why we cannot have people from the other side on this show, because they will not take invite. They will not come on the show. If you have a friend that is dying to talk about politics, that has disowned you, and they want a platform, they will have the floor. Somebody come on the show.
They won't do
it. It's true. They won't. And we can't talk about how they won't, because when we say, like, dude, you can say whatever you want to say in the comment section. When I give you the opportunity to speak to me verbally, you have nothing to say. Linda's a prime example of that. You had an opportunity to come on here and say exactly what you were talking about, and you probably could have got an understanding, but you threw out a statement which is extremely insulting, because nobody here said anything like pro-white, or even for you to assume that my husband is white. That's ignorant, bro. And then you had the opportunity to come talk, and you chose not to. You're still in the comment section.
I'm confused.
So don't complain. Sorry.
No, continue, because I'm changing the subject. Go ahead. Keep going.
Don't complain about people not hearing you out, or don't complain about one-sidedness when you don't have the ability to come on here and talk. And that's the last time I'm going to address you. But I hope you go and think about what you just said to a total stranger.
I'm super confused. So I'm on Linda's page right now. I'm trying to figure out, because I want to know a little bit more about this person that's not willing to come on. So Linda is, I'm so confused. So Linda's married to Angela Wiggins. Completely fine. Love it. She's saying I think somebody's military, because she said she's got a video of my baby. Okay. So her wife is military. It looks like National Guard, I believe, which is awesome. But then there's also a lot of kind of more liberal posts. I'm just very confused what are beliefs that are wrong. As Suni just said, I've looked all through the profile. I don't know what your beliefs are, which is great. You don't need to have them. That's the way that Facebook probably should be. But I'm very confused what our issues were of what we said. That's all I got. It's interesting profile though. It's one of the most dichotomous profiles I have ever seen, and I have no idea how to know more about this person. So now I really want to have a conversation with Linda.
I was about to say some slick shit, but I'm gonna shut my mouth.
Yeah, probably. All
Dang,
right.
Anthony, that's why we can't have nice things.
Linda going to block me? You about to lose your job. Suni was not only ignorant, but racist. Uh-oh. Got another hater.
What?
God.
In my opinion, to say that to Suni was not only... Oh, she said to say that to Suni.
Oh, got it. Oh, yeah. My bad.
I might as well just shut my mouth altogether because everything I say is going to be racist at this point.
Parker, a good friend of mine, brought up an interesting topic. Maybe she thought that we were being a little over the... That's possible.
I am a military spouse. My husband works on 15s. They bomb the shit out of Syria. Get over it. They take orders from somewhere. Like, what planet do people live on? Tell the truth. Shame the devil. Don't wake up to yourself every single day and lie. Our military is amazing. They protect us, but they also take orders from ain't shit people. Sorry.
Yeah. The last thing I was going to say for this show, and we can wrap it up pretty soon, is I was just with some military people this past weekend. And it's interesting. What is it called? A purity test. Hard to find any information on it unless you talk to people in the military. Suni, have you heard what a purity test is?
A purity test? No.
Apparently it was some of the things that they were doing to figure out who to send to DC to protect, which people, if you don't realize this also, DC is still currently in a military state. They still have the Capitol blocked until, I believe, is it June, Kaylee?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I'm trying to get there, like within the next 2 weeks, because nobody's seen any footage of DC. Nobody's seen any pictures of DC. Nobody's seen anything of DC. So I want to go so that I can have feet on the ground so you guys can see it.
I actually put a few days ago. Do you remember when I put the video out where they took all the stuff down around the Capitol?
Yep.
And the military
yeah.
gone? So I don't know how much of it is still up, but I know a large portion of it is down.
Yeah. So we have the situation going on out there, and apparently the military that is being hand selected are those that have, what is Kaylee laughing at? Oh, she's just tired. So I was like,
no, Linda said she hopes that we all enjoyed the show about her. Have a blessed night.
Bye, Linda.
Something. Bye, Linda. And
have a great night, Linda.
You provided a perfect example of how not to have a conversation, Linda. Thank you very much. So what are we talking about? DC right now?
Yeah.
Oh, so purity test is to see what their social media and their belief systems are, questionnaire, to make sure that they fit more of the side. They're selecting military, allegedly. I want to always say allegedly, but this is based on other National Guardsmen and people that I know that are in military. They're hand selecting people that fit that ideology to be the ones protecting the Capitol.
Also, that do not like Trump.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of what was Hitler. Like, that is literally directly out of the fucking Hitler handbook, to make sure that you're selecting the military that fits, the military that agrees with a certain cause. That's how you build a internal army against the people. That's horrific. And people have come out and said it. There's military that have been that were middle ground or whatever that have come out and said, yeah, there is something going on. Oh God. So it's a little bit, yeah, we made Linda famous. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We love you, Linda. Come back soon. Yes, the SS. Thank you. I love that Ruth knew exactly what my brain was trying to say, and I could not remember. So thank you for saying that. Appreciate it. Yeah, think about the attack on gun control right now, or the attack on guns. I'm saying that the propping up of gun control when all of this is happening. The stuff that should be on the media, the things like DC being on a lockdown state, with the effects of the Syria bombing, the fact that we now have an ISIS supporter or an ISIS, whatever they call it, ISIS supporter, whatever you say, is involved in a mass shooting. Instead, it's just we're avoiding the important part of the news. That's all I got. All right, Kaylee, I think we're gonna wrap it up. So if do you have any other final topics? You got any final news? You just want to do wrap up final words?
Final words, I guess.
Go for it. Get some.
Well, Linda, bless your heart. That's what I have to say to you. I am sorry that you felt like we made this show about you, because we didn't. And everybody, you guys, seriously, do your research. Okay? We've been saying that since day one. Research. And stop watching mainstream media, because all they're doing is giving you their opinions and their friends' opinions and telling you how you should feel about it. So do your research. That's what I got.
Suni, get off the vape. What do you got? What do you got as your final words? Suni.
Megan wants me to tell a joke. Let me see if I can find something.
You got one?
I'm gonna pull one up. Hold on.
Got it. I'll let
That's a
Suni
good
go
way to
last.
end.
I know. What did Blake? I saw Blake made a comment because he was supposed to be here, but he said that he was dealing with. Let's see. Oh God, what is that? Last 4 hours building my new desk. See, if I would have posted something about a new desk, people would have blamed it on the fact that I was stealing people's money to have a new desk.
Facts.
Facts. I still have PTSD from my 3-day vacation to Breckenridge and people slamming me. So let's see. Armstrong Williams, DC goes live every morning. Okay, that's good. Make sure you guys, if you want to note that name, Armstrong Williams. I know you guys do more lives on stuff like that, so give it a look.
Yeah.
Armstrong Williams. Oh, it's almost. I hear the voice outside. It's almost time for a pool party here at the Isla Grande. I'm here on adult spring break. Anyways, guys, so this is my final words for y'all. I'm going to go ahead and make it short and sweet. I think as we continue to have these conversations, people keep asking, what do we do? And why is this part of Be the Change? Be the Change, it sounds like this perfect world of utopian fantasy, and that's not the point of Be the Change. Be the Change is about taking action. We're taking action by informing as many people as we can and inviting as many people from across the aisle to have these conversations. Because without these conversations, change won't happen. People won't have any progress. I won't learn anything new. I would love to learn something new from somebody across the aisle. I have learned several things over the last 5 years of truly listening. I've also informed other people how to think different. Cash did the same. Cash was brilliant in terms of getting people to see a completely different side. It helps when you have the come from. When you've got a educated black male that has a come from, it's going to help people to listen across the board. For me, hopefully I can get across to a few people and let people understand the truth. And for people that are in the comment box that agree with us, which is the predominance of us, I'm not trying to create an echo chamber. What I'm trying to create is an educated public that can change the minds of people, not to change their political beliefs, but to change their open-minded thinking, to realize there is two ways to look at things. And sometimes that might even change their mind about the bigger picture. So I want to thank you guys for joining. I want to really challenge you guys. If you have a friend that is a Democrat, liberal, disagrees with Trump, disagrees with what you think that we're saying, please say, begging of you, if you are so set that you are 100 million% right and you are confident in it, send them to us on the Be the Change page, Primetime Patriots. We check, either Nikki will check our page. I know that Kaylee, they have a whole team with Primetime Patriots to check as well. So we would love to have these conversations. This is the goal. Primetime Patriots reports the news over and over again, and the conversation, it needs to be had across the board. So. All right, Suni.
All right. Are we ending with the joke?
Yes. Yeah, unless Suni
I got a good one.
The last words. 5, 4, 3, 2. Suni must be taking a poop. All right, Kaylee, go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna warn you, Russo. My jokes are super cheesy. Okay, ready?
I don't know if you know who I am. That's my middle name.
Okay, here it is. What is an astronaut's favorite part on a computer? The space bar. Do you get it? You have to laugh.
Kaylee, do you realize what I have to say about that joke?
What?
That joke was out of this world.
Oh.
Suni, we're ending on a joke, but if you do have final words, I'm sure Kaylee can find another one.
Make America think again. CDM members don't think, bro. Y'all need to think. That's all I got to say. Please start thinking. Don't be like Linda.
It was, I think the amazing thing was it's like your mouth was ahead of your words, but I realized it was just where you were talking. Somehow it was actually accurate, but it was really just, it looked really weird. Anyways, Kaylee, you got one more for us?
Sure, yeah, I got this. All right, you ready? Obviously, this isn't me. I don't have a wife, but I told my wife she was drawing her eyebrows too high. She looked at me surprised.
She's already high.
Oh, God. All right. I'll see you guys around night for Changemakers. I'll see you guys around night for Changemakers with Emily Robbins. Thank you all for joining us here at #BeTheChange and Truth Will Set You Free, episode number 44. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic evening.
Bye-bye.